Libra, welcome to your weekly forecast for May 9th through the 15th. This is going to be for Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You might stumble upon this video after that date. That's fine. You're going to find it whenever it's time to hear the messages. My dears and my darlings, we are coming into Mercury retrograde this week, starting on the 10th. I know that a lot of people freak out and they get scared, but take a deep breath and remind yourself of how many Mercury retrogrades you have survived up until now in your life. It's going to be okay. But we're going to connect and see what messages are coming up. As Mercury is moving through the sign of Gemini until the 22nd, we're going to be in the realm of thought and the realm of communication. So it's going to be a good idea to make sure that we're making mental health and mental self-care a priority in the coming week, especially through the 22nd. So make sure you're making time for that. Make sure that you're giving yourself some mental health time, some mental health awareness to deal with any stresses or worries or concerns that might be popping up. But we're going to look at the cards and see what the cards have to say and what messages are coming up here for the Libra collective. So the first card coming up for you all is the Two of Cups. Okay, so as this energy is moving through, a lot of you might be in the realm of your personal life, right? Even though it's in the element of air, you might be looking about your thoughts about your interpersonal relationships, whether this is family, whether this is interactions with coworkers, whether this is friendships, or whether this is romantic relationships. You may be looking at the balance of things. And for some of you, because we talked about misunderstandings, or we talked about miscommunications, or stress or worry or concern or insecurity, some of you might be looking at your friendships and relationships and saying, hey, wait a minute now, what am I getting out of this? I know what I'm bringing to the table, but what am I getting out of this? So I feel like a lot of you are looking at wanting to have people in your life that are stepping up and giving you that reciprocal energy, right? You don't want something that's just one-sided, where you're showing up and you're doing all the work, or you're showing up and you're doing all the giving. You want people who are going to show up and work with you. You want people who are going to show up and help you. You want people who are going to show up and exchange energy. So a lot of you may be looking at your connections and interactions with others, and some of you may be taking things a little bit more personally at this time because of the retrograde energy. So I would just say try to keep a cool head if and when possible. But I really do feel, Libra, like you guys are in the element of like speaking up and like letting people know your expectations, or letting people know that you didn't appreciate something, or you didn't think something was fair, whereas usually maybe you wouldn't do that. And so I feel some of you are speaking up and you're just stating facts. You're just simply coming up and stating facts, like, I did this and this and this and this, and you did nothing, or you did that one thing, right? So I feel like some of you are calling things to the attention of other people that, hey, this is one-sided, or this isn't fair. Like, you're giving people an opportunity to step up. But if they don't step up, you're like ready to clear it out of your experience and leave that space open for a person or situation that is going to step up. I'm curious how many of you might be dealing with a Virgo, or how many of you may have a Virgo placement, because this is a similar message that came up for Virgo as well. The next card that's coming up here for you all is the Tower, right? So the Tower is permanent change. The Tower is permanent change. It's being pushed out of our comfort zone. There's no going back to the old way of life when the Tower is here. And it can be something that happens very suddenly and very shockingly, like really unexpected. Like it just kind of came out of nowhere. So for some of you, you may be the Tower in somebody else's life, or the Tower in a situation where they didn't see this coming, Libra. Like, they just thought that you were going to be this constant, consistent foundation in a situation, or this reliable, energy in a situation, or this, old faithful, here comes old faithful Libra. And you're like, nope, not so fast. Don't get so comfortable. Don't put all your hope in me, because I'm done with this mess. So I feel in this instance, because of the energy that I feel around the Two of Cups, I feel the Tower is coming up, Libra, where for many of you, you are going to be the Tower in somebody else's life. They're not going to see this coming. They're not going to expect this. It's making me think of a song. I'm dating myself here, which was not a single, but it was off an album by Gnarls Barkley, and the song is called Storm Coming. And it's like, there's a storm on the way. It's coming no matter what I say. And there's this really powerful song where he's just basically saying, like, I won't get into it. If you want to look up the song or look up the lyrics, you can. But I feel this energy with some of you where you're over it. You're over it. You're done. Like, you're taking charge. And you are not handling this kind of energy, or you're standing up for yourself in a situation. You're standing up for yourself. Now, obviously, we can stand up for ourselves in peaceful ways where people don't have to get hurt. So it's not about physically fighting somebody. It's not about physically going to war or going to battle. This is not a physical sense. This is with your words, with your actions. Some of you may be deciding to uphold your rights by maybe filing complaints, or getting a lawyer in a situation to take something to court. But I feel there's some aspect here also in, like, upholding your rights and having your rights enforced. The Tower card, I know it's a card that scares a lot of people, but the Tower just comes in to free us from a situation that's causing us too much pain. And, like, Spirit is like, look, we got to keep you on track with divine timing. We don't want you to miss the boat of these opportunities that are coming in for you. We don't want you to miss your blessings. So chop chop, we got to get going. We got to get moving. And so for some of you, Spirit may be coming in and causing a Tower moment where something is suddenly removed. If you're not the one who's just saying, I'm done with this mess, and getting up and walking away. But know that it's an act of love to keep you on track with divine timing, and to keep you from missing your blessings, to keep you from missing your opportunities, to keep you on time, to keep you on track. Okay? The next card that's coming up here for Libra is the Eight of Cups. Now, the Eight of Cups is oftentimes a card that comes in when we are looking for spiritual connection, or we're looking for more meaning or more purpose in our life. We feel like something is missing. Something is missing. We want more. We want to feel fulfilled. This is a card that can come up a lot of the times when people are making a career change. You may feel that you've gone into a line of work that is, like, not feeding your soul. Maybe you just feel like your work environment has been absolutely soul crushing, or you've been dealing with really unethical people. I know for me, when before I began doing tarot, there was a time I was working with lawyers, and I went into that really excited, feeling that I'm going into the legal field, like I'm going to make a difference. And I ended up in an area of law where I just felt my job was to repress wrongs that were committed, or people abusing their power and, like, getting away with it. And I was like, I can't live with myself. I can't live with myself doing this kind of work. And so some of you may be having some kind of, like, moral dilemma, or you may be looking at the work that you're doing and you're like, I don't like this. This feels gross to me. So some of you may be looking into, like, a serious career change, or moving away from a certain type of work that you feel like, hey, this is unethical, or this is slimy, or this is gross and I never noticed it until now. And don't be surprised, because when we're asleep, we don't see those things. But when we wake up, we're like, whoa, what's happening here? So some of you might be waking up and deciding that you want to distance yourself from a certain company or a certain type of work because you want to do something more meaningful or something more fulfilling or something that's making a positive difference. Now, a lot of you have heard me say this, 8 of Cups for me, a lot of the times comes up for the overachievers. You may be the kind of person that people see as very accomplished, and you may be the kind of person that people think, man, Libra puts their mind to something and they succeed. They're able to do it, right? People might even think you're kind of lucky. Like, oh, you're so lucky, things just work out for you. Or, oh, you're so lucky, you're the exception to the rule, right? Where other people struggle, you excel, you succeed. They don't realize how hard you work. They don't realize how tirelessly you work. It's not like things are just happening for you because you're lucky. You're working your butt off. But the thing about the 8 of Cups for me is it comes up for these people who are like these overachievers, and you accomplish this thing, but you're only happy for a little bit. The happiness fades quickly because it doesn't take long where you're saying to yourself, well, I'm proud of myself for accomplishing this, and I'm glad that I did it, but it didn't make me feel any different than I thought it was going to make me feel. Like something is still missing. So maybe I focused on the wrong thing. So maybe I'm going to be happier when I focus on this other thing instead. And then we set a new goal for ourselves. And then happiness is always in the accomplishment of the next goal. When I accomplish that goal, I'm going to feel fulfilled. When I accomplish that goal, I'm going to feel happy. But it ends up being this vicious cycle. So I see 8 of Cups come up when Spirit is like, look, we're really proud of you. We're really proud of all the hard work that you're doing. And it makes us so sad to see you work so hard and feel so unfulfilled. We don't want that to happen for you again. So the message here, my dears, is take time for your spiritual connection. Because the missing piece is there's something missing in your spiritual connection, and that's what's making you feel like you just can't feel fulfilled. You just can't feel accomplished. You just can't feel loved. Like something is always missing. So if you can focus on that spiritual connection and strengthening your spiritual connection, then you can really enjoy the fruits of your labor. Then you can really feel fulfilled in your accomplishments. Okay? And I know some of you may say, well, Amethyst, I've got a spiritual routine already. I wake up every morning, I say my prayers, I meditate, I do my yoga, I read my holy book, I read my Bible, my Quran, my whatever. Like I have all these things that I do with my morning coffee, and that's all wonderful. That's all great. You keep doing that. But what you need to understand is that sometimes spiritual routine becomes very routine. Right? The same way you got to mix things up and keep your friendships fresh or keep your marriage fresh if you're married. Sometimes we got to keep our spiritual routine fresh. We got to keep our spiritual relationship fresh. So ask yourself, what are some ways that I can connect with God, with universe, with higher self in a way I don't typically do? Maybe it's spending time in nature. Maybe it's gardening. Maybe it's music. Maybe it's being in the water. Maybe it's being around animals or being around children, or maybe it's volunteering. But some way that you can feel connected to that bigger love out there in the universe, something greater than yourself, source energy, is going to be important that you tap into that, and that you make practice and make it a habit tapping into that, because that's going to make all the difference of you being able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Because Libra, you're working really hard, right? And you deserve to feel accomplished and fulfilled and proud of those accomplishments. Now, your next card coming up here is the 4 of Wands. And 4 of Wands, stereotypically in tarot, is often seen as what? Marriage, weddings, and don't get me wrong, that could very well be something that some of you are manifesting. Some of you might be manifesting marriage. Some of you may be manifesting, getting married, or a wedding, or maybe even a dream wedding of some kind. However, we're not only focusing on love and romance in the weekly forecast, we're focusing on the other ways that these cards can apply. And so the Four of Wands is stability and security, a sense of abundance, a sense of comfort, a sense of home, a sense of community. So this is really what you're establishing. Okay? You're establishing a sense of community, a sense of home, a sense of security, a sense of abundance, right? Where things are stable and solid and secure. Four of Wands can also be some kind of gathering. Some of you may be invited to a gathering, and maybe you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to go. And Spirit is telling you, do it. Go for it. Accept the invitation. You may be making new connections there. Four of Wands also comes up for me a lot of the times in the reading. Like, say you are looking to make a career change, or say you are looking for new opportunities. Four of Wands sometimes comes up for me to say that the opportunities are going to come to you through socializing or networking. Okay, maybe it's not going to be through, submitting resumes online, or doing something on like official applying process. It may be more so somebody knows of an opportunity and they're like, oh yeah, sure, I'll tell my boss, I'll give them your resume. Or it could be something where this is happening through interaction or networking with others. All right. You may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks your moon sign or rising sign might resonate more than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you click on the link in the description of this video, it will take you to calendly.com/amethystangelite, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. Love readings for May are linked in the description of the video. And don't forget to check out the daily messages as well. A lot of you have been asking me to do a card of the day, and I've been doing that, so be sure to check those out as well. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead. Take care and be well, my dears.